I ended up in Sweden because I was 18 and school wasn't going very well, and I'd been diagnosed with depression and I just wasn't succeeding in anything, so I decided to escape, as I like to say, and came as an au pair. And I stayed with the family for 2 years, and then I decided I just didn't want to go back. I didn't have anything to go back to, it felt like. My early years were very English, I would say. Grew up with a mum and dad and an older brother. Really worked hard in school, but could never really achieve what I wanted to. But it wasn't until I was 17 that it was established that I suffered from mental health. Before then, I was just considered to be weird and stupid and odd, and I was used to hearing that. So when I got here, even when I came in '94, I was so surprised to get compliments and hear how good I was at everything I did. So I doubted it so much for many years. But now I'm beginning to believe it. I found out that I have mental health issues at 17 because my granddad passed away, and I was extremely close to him. He passed away just before I turned 17, and after 2 years I still wasn't over it. I mean, I drank a lot to numb the pain, and I was too young to be doing that, and then I realised that I wasn't like everybody else, but in our family I wasn't allowed to tell anybody that I had therapy or I was on antidepressants. It was a secret. I wasn't even allowed to tell my brother. It was all very hush-hush. Over the years, more and more diagnoses have been added on. I suffer from Asperger's. Well, not suffer, I have Asperger's. So that's where I'm limited into what I can do. I also recently was diagnosed with bipolar, which explained a lot, because I suffer from depression quite regularly. I've always had something to do. I've always worked since I was 12. I've always had a job. And for me, being on sick leave meant that I was lazy. And I just got more sick having nothing to do and just being at home. I just can't do it. And so in 2000, I had a contact person, and we tried all different things, working in a church cafe, working voluntarily, but it just doesn't work. And then she suddenly just remembered Fountain House in 2006, and I think we came on a Friday, and it was just such a good experience. A new member showed me around. I think it was the first time he showed someone around, him and a staff member, and he was saying stuff about the house that couldn't have structurally been true, and we just all laughed, and no one made fun of him. It was just so relaxed, and I'll always remember my first visit here, and I liked it so much that I'm sure I came on a Friday and started on a Monday. The good thing about Fountain House is that you can choose your hours, and I'm more a morning person, so I'm here from like 8:30 until 1. And I like to work in the kitchen, I like to bake, I like to make the vegetarian food. I like the unit meetings because that's where we divide up the work for the day, but it's also nice to chat and joke around. And I work in the kitchen, and it's such a nice atmosphere with a different diversity of people. When friends call that aren't part of Fountain House and they say, "How was your day?" I can say, "I've been to work, I'm tired," and they understand. If you're just on sick leave and you say you're tired, they can't understand why you're tired because you haven't done anything. So Fountain House, you can say they understand that you've been working during the day. And also I always say this, but when I go home at the end of the day, regardless of what time I go home, however I'm feeling, I can always think about my day at Fountain House. There's always something that makes me laugh out loud that's happened during the day. Regardless of how the day has been, there's always something that you can laugh about, which I really like. Fountain House for me means that it's always been my safe haven. It feels like family. I can be myself. If I'm upset, it's okay. If I'm happy, it's great. I can just be me. I don't have to put on any pretense when I'm here. For me, I consider Fountain House to be a lifelong membership. I have every intentions of going out and studying and getting an education, but Fountain House will always be here for me. Fountain House is always a place that I will return to. Even if it's just to visit, it's always going to be here for me because it's done so much for me. Fountain House will always be a part of my life.